right, welcome back. It's Mike Perkins once again. I appreciate all the loves, all the views, all the listens. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna try to do more and more content consistently. And again, I just appreciate people just checking out the content, and we try to do better with the titles, and do better with the tags, so that people can kind of like get in there, you know what I'm saying, with the tags and the titles and stuff like that, because that's, that makes it, able to kind of get to people. So I'm going to be doing that and doing more uploads. I don't know if we're going to get back to doing lives, but if we do lives, we'll get back to that, because I love the live aspect of it, because then we can get people involved and have people call in and all that stuff. So just a little housekeeping there. Make sure that you're looking in the description and subscribing to any of the Instagram, the Twitter, following, liking, things of that nature. Been appreciating the view bump up in the last couple of episodes that we've been putting out. So definitely appreciate you on that, and we'll be doing more workout videos and put more workout videos out there, just little clips, just to kind of let you know what we're doing. And we certainly appreciate the love there. Been a lot more love there than the actual episodes, but love is love. So that completes the housekeeping portion. Let's get to these bars. Let's get to these things. So this episode here, what I was thinking is that, and a lot of times I think that enough of the problem that we have with regards to trying to push the message that men are not really responsible for black women's outcomes to the extent that they claim we are, because a lot of dudes have really checked out of certain games, like the baby daddy game, or having 2 and 3 and 8, 9 kids, being over sexualized, thotting it out, doing all that stuff. Most dudes are kind of, again, having a lot of sex is just, the allure of it obviously is because it feels good. But like, enough guys have not been as consistently irresponsible, and the numbers are kind of like speaking to us not being as irresponsible, i.e. 53% of black men don't have kids, 54% of single black men use condoms. We lead in both of those things, i.e. we don't have kids for the most black men don't have kids, and most black men use condoms. That's more than anybody, any other race. So that the agenda being pushed is not fuck black women. It's just that, hey, we're not responsible for all your bad outcomes. You are more responsible for your outcomes than we are. We are only who we are. We can only do what we can do. We're not responsible for your outcomes. It's at a certain point where I just thought that the fight was just to convince women, but really the fight I'm seeing a lot of times is convincing the very men who fall victim to this very smear campaign push for women to say men are responsible for my bad outcomes. And you get the guys who do that, they're usually reformed fuckboys. Guys who have had women and they do their dirt, and then they have a come to Jesus moment where they hurt the wrong woman and she was a good woman and she was gonna be with him, and then the nigga all of a sudden, because he ain't shit, niggas is the problem, because he realizes the error of his ways. It's gonna take a long time to really kind of convince those niggas, and they really push culture, because you'll have guys like that who then become your Derrick Jacksons. And Derrick Jackson's following was fucking phenomenal. I mean, like, you gotta give it to him. His following was fucking ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? 6 million cumulative follows. Most of it was probably women. I'll give it 95%. It was probably women. You get probably a little bit that was men. Maybe 5%. You know what I mean? But, man, his following was phenomenal. And it's still phenomenal, because I don't really think that he's losing that many subscribers. I mean, he lost some, obviously, because the scandal was a scandal was a scandal. I mean, I don't see how you can still follow him and righteously, you can't explain it righteously. But, I mean, at the same time, who cares? Because really, it's just about influence. It's about any of those things. And Derek Jackson is, I mean, if not for admitting it, you know what I'm saying, we see that he is, I mean, not a reformed fuckboy. I mean, you know, he was doing it real time. But the problem that we have is convincing those guys that although you made the bad decisions that you made, the system still exists. You know, and that you don't have to be at the mercy of women because you made fuckboy decisions. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And if you can say that I was wrong, of which you were, we need to get back to these bars, which is black men are not responsible to the degree that black women say responsible for their outcomes. And even if you're a fuckboy, you a fuckboy. And fuckboys tend to get a lot of pussy. And women reward niggas who get a lot of pussy with more pussy. I was just having that conversation with my cousin today. Like, you gotta understand that the niggas who get a lot of pussy get a lot of pussy on the strength of they can get a lot of pussy. You know, women reward fuckboy behavior. Women don't, you know, speak against it. It's not like women are saying, you know, you should stop in the context of don't fuck me. They're just saying stop in the context of fuck me and nobody else. Like, just be with me now. Everybody likes you and you're attractive, but just stop. Like, be with me. You know what I'm saying? And convincing guys that we have to start holding women accountable for their actions, even when their actions include you, because it seems like it's just like, oh, I'm being a hypocrite. And you're not. Like, I'm not a fuckboy or a former fuck, but a lot of this stuff that I say, it would affect me bad. You know what I mean? It would affect me because I can eat out here. Again, taller than average, make more money than average, you know, better looking than average. I can actually get out here and eat and kill. You know what I'm saying? But I'm speaking to women being a lot more selective in a sense, and not a lot more selective just in the sense of like, you know, pick good men. Don't go to the ain't shit department. Seems like women want to go to the ain't shit department and just, you know, see what's going on. Like, oh, it's the ain't shit department. And every race has an ain't shit department. It's not like the ain't shit department in our, you know, community is just some absorbent amount of dudes that are just, you know, it's not 20% of us and shit. It's the niggas who it is. Just like in every other race. There's a group of motherfuckers that you should stay the fuck away from. You know, and for the most part, our women decide that that's where all the good dick is. You know, so they go to the ain't shit department and they get fucked right. And then they say, you know, I'm going to go back because, you know, I got fucked right. So I'm going to go back, you know, and then they go back and they get fucked right again. And they say, I'm just going to go back, 2 more times. And then they go back 2 more times. And next thing you know, it's 3 more times and it's 8 more times. And then that's they nigga. And then next thing you know, they fighting on Instagram saying, you bitches better stop fucking my man, he mine, you bitches is jealous, so on and so forth. And then you get bitches who are just in that realm so long that, I mean, that's who they are. You know, that's just who they are. And look, men can rebound a lot better. I mean, look, women get to be superstars at 20 and 23 and up to 27, 28. They just get to be superstars. They don't have to be, you know, they don't have to be interesting. They don't have to be, you know, smart. They don't have to be introspective. None of the above. They can just show up, and because they are women with titties and ass, they understand that they can cash in and keep winning off of that. And what we have to do, which is tough, is either, like, convincing those guys is probably going to be impossible, right? But there are a lot of guys who are on the fence. Like, I was on the fence, you know? Like, my introduction to the space was really like shock therapy, you know? Because I was at a point whereas I believed a lot of the shit that women said. You know, like, if you're the right man, then she'll be the right woman. You know, a good leader determines if the woman is going to be good. You know what I'm saying? You be a good man, she'd be a good woman. Woman will submit if you're the right guy, so on and so forth. I used to believe that shit wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? I even used to say it out loud. And I just felt like I needed to do better. And the reality of it is that if you got a bitch, then she's going to be a bitch because she's a bitch. That's just what it is. If you got a hoe and she's a hoe, she's just going to be a hoe. Women have autonomy. Women have autonomy over their decision making. They have autonomy and agency over their bodies. They can do whatever they want to. And I would never tell a woman not to. You know what I mean? Again, my philosophy is just be the strong, independent woman that you was when the consequences come. That's all I ever say. You know, I would never tell a woman, you shouldn't have sex with him. Go ahead, man. Like, you know, if you want to go to the ain't shit department and you want to get some dick, I would encourage you to do so. Shit, get 2 dicks while you're at it. Have a lot of fun. You know, whatever you want, because it's on you. I would never ever tell you not to, because really, it's on you. What I would also tell you, though, is that we don't owe you to then take you back into the game. You know, when you come back to the game, please understand that it ain't gonna be all that fun. You know, you're also gonna lose, because what motherfuckers is, you're gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? This is not one of those things where you get to like come back to the game and treat it like you're a blank slate. No, you're not a blank slate. You have all of these issues and these problems, and you're gonna have to deal with it. You know, ultimately, you're gonna have to deal with it. You can't come to niggas with all this bullshit and be like, nah. I made mistakes in my past. Well, your past matters. You know, not necessarily. We're not talking body count necessarily, but your past matters. You know, but what we have to do is we have to get the niggas that are on the fence and leave the delusional ones alone. Like the ones who can't get it, who won't get it, who refuse to understand the problem at hand until the shit is just so bad that they have to do something ridiculous in their life, i.e. they have to lose half their shit, they gotta lose their kids, they have to be publicly humiliated before the shit is what it is. But that's the problem. Like, I think that the guys who refuse, like myself at a certain point, refuse to kind of understand what's going on, they deserve what they get. You know, they deserve what they get, you know, because the problem is that being, like, I think these niggas are afraid of karma. So they think they're gonna nice themselves, nice their way out of the thing that's coming to them anyway. And not to say that something bad is gonna happen to them, but like, you can't nice your way out of your fate. It's gonna fucking happen, you know. Whatever you did to your woman, if you're just still gonna be with her or whatever, you're gonna, you know, you made her a baby mama, and all of a sudden now you feel like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get my life together and I'm gonna marry her now. Nigga, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. You can't avoid it. You know, not to say that, you know, I don't know that I necessarily believe in predestination or whatever, but I'm saying that you can't avoid it if it's gonna happen. If she's gonna fuck you over, she's gonna fuck you over. You know, your best bet is just to be the best nigga that you can be. And then if it don't work out, it don't work out. But these niggas don't believe anything. They don't believe in the 53% of black men don't have kids. And if they do believe in it, they're saying, well, those guys ain't necessarily the guys that women want anyway. Which is dumb at this point. At this point, it's just dumb. You know, we're just being, like, you're being an idiot. More than half of the men don't have kids, and you're being an idiot. Because you think somehow that's a reflection of the men still. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You don't think it's a reflection of dudes saying, nah, I see what's happening out here. 90% of custody hearings are going in favor of the women. That's regardless of race. I'm straight. That ain't got nothing to even do. That's just, I don't like the system. 80%, 70, 80% of the divorces are filed by women. I don't want that for myself. Like, the niggas are checking out. They're saying, nah, I'm straight. That's what men are saying. They're not saying that, oh, I can't get a woman, so I'm just going to jack off at the crib. I'm just going to jack off. That's not what men are saying. What men are saying is that it's not worth it. At this point, it's just not worth it. I want to have a wife. I want to have a kid. I want to be in these situations. But ain't nothing doing. And women are really, really deciding the stock culture is what it's about. And at a certain point, what we have to do is we have to let them do it. We got to just let them do it. Because the more we let them do it, like the women on Instagram and all that stuff, I don't let them do it. They want to do it. You can even like it. Like, I used to be on this tip where I'd be like, don't like that shit. This, you know, that'll make them stop. It won't. They'll find some niggas who do like it, and they'll keep doing it. You know what? I encourage them to keep doing it. Titty Tuesday. Okay, word. I even give you a like. You know what I'm saying? I encourage you to do the things that you're going to do. Get the outcomes as well. And I'm not threatening you. If you get a good outcome, that's even great. If you Titty Tuesday for 20 years and then at the end of the rainbow, you get a good nigga, congratulations. You beat the game. Congratulations. If you a hoe and you get the hoe for 20 years and then you get a nigga at the end of the rainbow, congratulations. If you get to be a dumb bitch for 20 years and then at the end of the rainbow, you get a good nigga, you get to have 2 or 3 baby daddies, and at the end of the rainbow, you get congratulations. But how often you think that's going to happen? And as men, what we need to do is let them do it. Let them talk. That's what I love about what we do on our show. Like, I don't cut women off. I let them talk. And eventually they double talk. Eventually they contradict themselves. Eventually they do the thing that we always thought that they was going to do. And it's even for niggas who be on that shit where men got to take responsibility. What are the fucking, like, if a nigga does something wrong, like, you can't give me one situation or one aspect of life where a man can do something wrong and there's no consequence on the end of it. There's always a consequence for us. There's literally no consequence for a woman who fucking, like, paternity fraud. There's literally no penalty for it. It's called paternity fraud, I guess, which would make you think, oh, that's wrong. But, you know, because fraud is attached to it. But paternity fraud literally has no, it has no penalty. And it's called paternity fraud. And the only way to even start the process is to have a paternity test that says that you're not the dad. That's the only way to even start the process. Otherwise, and already 30% of the test, you know me, according to DNAtest.com, not Michael was always fucking right.com, 30% of the tests are already negative. And that's without mandatory paternity tests at birth. Imagine if it was mandatory paternity tests at birth. And these guys, they know all these numbers that have been coming out. The abuse numbers. You would swear that motherfuckers is whipping women's ass. 84% of relationships are non-violent. Only 16% are. And if you ask most dudes, has your woman ever hit you? I'm sure that their answer will be, well, yeah. Did you call the cops? Well, nah, I didn't call the cops. You know why? Because we don't see women as threatening. Until they are. Until she has you back up against the wall in court. Until she calls the cops on you because you got loud with her. Until she does the things that everybody's warning you about. And I don't wish this shit on these niggas. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be careful out here, because I'm not saying all women are like this. I'm saying the numbers are not in your favor. They're not. Like, I would want to believe that women are not like this, but I've seen too much. I know too much. You know what I mean? Not all women are like that. I tell her again, my girl cousin, I have to tell her again. That's not all women are like that. Not all women are the same. It's so common a thing that there's a hashtag acronym for it. Because we know you're going to say that. Well, not all women are like that. Really? That's all you got for me. I give you all the numbers. I give you all the data, all the history, all everything. Well, not all women are like that. And they're apologists. And I don't think my cousin, I don't think she's a horrible person. Obviously, you know, since she's my cousin, I love her. But what I do believe is that women saying those things always put you in a position whereas, okay, so you don't think all women are like that. Then what about the women you around? And it's quiet. All these niggas, and these niggas who don't believe it because they're able to get good women and essentially fuck over them, it's just that they're the problem, and that's what they haven't come to grips with. You're the problem. These niggas turn into hoteps. They turn into fucking these pro-blacks. They turn into these, you know, motivational speakers for women because they've had all the pussy they can get, and they, you know, still get a little bit more. It's pussy. You know what I'm saying? Pussy's like pizza. Even if you're not hungry, you still go for a slice. And these guys, they keep telling you, no, it's not like that. We just got to step up as men. No, it's not like that. We just got to do better. It's on the men. We supposed to be the leaders. I ask the question again. If we the leaders, who they following? Who they following? Most of these women are not following any men. They don't respect them. They don't talk to them. They don't feel no kind of way about not talking to them either. So it's time for the men who talk that way to either just put up or shut up. You take these baby mama ass women, you know, but they won't do it. They'll tell you to do it, but they won't do it. They'll tell you, they'll tell Fresh and Fit they're wrong for saying Bonquisha and Tanisha and Keisha. They'll tell them wrong. I'm like, well, if they're wrong, that's fine. Whatever. They're wrong. I'll accept your premise. You marry them. Because I would never tell you know what? That's wrong. Okay, I accept your premise. Then why don't you marry him? Well, I don't want them neither. Well, then them niggas ain't wrong. They right. They just about as right as rain. They about as right can get then. Because you're not going to marry him. And you say that they're queens. Derek Jackson married him a homely, church-going girl. That's who he married. That's who he got pregnant with. You know, he got pregnant first. But that's who he married. He married a homely, church-going chick who probably is not going to cheat on him and likely not going to leave him. That's who he married. He didn't marry some baby mama out here. He didn't marry some boss chick. He didn't marry none of that shit. There was probably a point in time where his woman was making more money than him because she has a degree. But realistically, that was probably short-lived. Look at what he married. Look at what a lot of these niggas marry. They don't marry these boss chicks. They don't marry these strong, independent women. They marry the women who we be talking about. The ones that at least know how to cooperate at base level. The ones that listen. And that's far and few and in between. And so that the movement has to be about just getting the men who listen to listen. And if they change their minds, the ones that are on the fence, that like myself, if they can change their minds, then we got something. The guys who push, hard against the space, let them niggas argue themselves into a tizzy until they tired. Because that's all they doing. They arguing with themselves. They arguing with their conscience. They're not arguing with us. There's some good women out here. Well, what's some? How many is some? When 70% of the kids are out of wedlock and these little niggas can't read. How many women are you talking about that are this great? When the STD rate is 50%. How many? When they having abortions like as much as they having BBLs and shit. How many of these women are really good like that when whole culture is just prominent? How many of these women are really, really good? And I'm not saying all are bad, of course. Not all women are bad. Not all women are like that. But I'm just saying, how many are you talking? There's a problem. Even the good ones, there's a problem. They're being given bad information. And for some of them, they just don't get it. Some of them get it exactly. And what I would ask for some of them, the ones that say they don't get it, what did you think was going to be the outcome? Because a lot of this wait until you 30 to get married shit is really just dumb. It's just dumb. It's like, well, what did you think was going to happen? You thought you're going to start the process at 30 and then have a kid and get, what do you think the process is? But they just think that men are just if I work on myself, i.e. get a degree, then I'm just gonna get a man. And niggas are telling them that shit. Meanwhile, they're bulldozing through these women. Not just running through them, they're bulldozing through these women. Even the nice ones, even the ones that they're so wholesome, they're giving up some coochie too. They're bulldozing through these women, offering them up to the slaughter afterward. Because the reality of it is that when you get to 29, 20, 30, 31, 32, as a woman, you're not built to survive past that. And not survive past that as in you're going to die. But that's not what your life is about. Your life is not about, okay, I'm going to be alone up until I get a companion. Fulfillment is not in these things that they tell. Fulfillment for a woman is family. The family you create. You know what I'm saying? Fulfillment for a dude is in the things you can create. You know what I mean? But most of that is based on family. Fulfillment for people is family. You gotta stop lying to women. And some of these niggas who are lying to women, look, hey man, everybody can't go. I've always had that philosophy. Everybody can't go. You know? I try to tell people about getting out of debt, of which I'm gonna probably do some videos on that, because I think that that's necessary. You know? But everybody can't go. If I tell you need to get out of debt, this debt shit is dumb. That credit score shit is for goofies. You know what I'm saying? All the credit score shows you is how well you do with debt, which is really not a big deal. Your ability to save money and to build your net worth is really the bottom line. Not this debt shit where you get to do, you know, whatever. And shout out to Savings Minus Debt. You know what I mean? Because I listen to him a lot. I'll put his shit in the description because I love his show. But yeah, you know, everybody can't go, so I'm not gonna tell everybody to get out of debt, and then motherfuckers listen. They're not. So whatever. You know what I mean? But on this tip, everybody can't go, and I let niggas have it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna convince dudes that, you know what I mean, these women are who they are, because they not gonna date them. You know what I mean? You have guys that guys I grew up with who try to make exceptions for black women, but they're dating white women. They don't really even date black women like that. And they'll make exceptions for black women because they mama black, their sister's black, they, you know, nieces and cousins black women and all that stuff in their family, but they don't date them. They get it enough to where, like, I ain't dating them bitches. But they're good. Some of them are good. Like, to the point where you don't date them, huh? You know, but that's my time, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you subscribe if you're listening. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you get a little, you know, little glimpse of what we're doing on Instagram and what we're doing on Twitter. And, you know, we're just going to be putting out more content and, you know, more workout content as well. More, just more content overall. Trying to broaden our horizons. But, thanks, man. It's Mike Perkins again. I'm out.